looks like Tomb Raider has found their Lara Croft, or at least that's what the reports are saying right now. Amazon is, of course, making their own live-action Tomb Raider series. It is being written and produced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. That sucks. But it looks like Sophie Turner is who they are looking for to play Lara Croft.
She's mainly known for Game of Thrones.
Yes.
But I don't know much else about her.
What I found the most interesting about this is not that they're looking at Sophie Turner. It's that they're still going to do it with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I know that that sounds callous. But look, Lara Croft is kind of just like hotter, bustier Indiana Jones, and she already ruined Indiana Jones.
Well,
Why would you permit this to go forward?
She was obviously the worst part of Dial of Destiny, and she's a major feminist.
Yes.
So she believes that Lara Croft is a feminist girl boss.
So what we'll have to endure is a whole production about settler colonialism and the evils of whiteness as it pertains to encroaching on other territories. I can't wait. One thing I do find interesting about this is that all of this kind of comes together. We're also going to talk about the casting of the female Silver Surfer, which was a rumor from earlier this year that unfortunately did turn out to be true. But they've got some goodwill going in right now. Now, not everybody loved the animated Tomb Raider series, but the one on Netflix, but it didn't do as horribly as they thought it was going to. But Amazon is kind of a mixed bag. When it comes to these types of adaptations, Amazon is a mixed bag. I tried watching the Alex Cross series. It was literally just shot so damn dark. I couldn't understand what was going on half the time. it was like daytime when I tried to watch it. And then I had to like turn out all the lights and like close the blinds because of the cinematography. But of course, Reacher was a very successful adaptation that just got season 3 and 4 permitted all at the same time. The Terminal List did well and has a spin-off coming soon. Without Remorse was not a good movie, but Jack Ryan was, of course, very, very good and popular. At least it did enough numbers. I'm just trying to stick within these genres that men are going to find specific. We could talk about Handmaid's Tale, Wheel of Time, all things that women like, but we're going for a male genre here. So I'm just trying to parse through all of the things that they've done that appeal to men and continue onwards. So they're a little bit hit and miss with this type of stuff, but it's not the type of casting that I think inspires a certain level of confidence in the project. You're not going to do better than Angelina Jolie. I don't really think anybody even remembers Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. I think that was 2018, and it's since been wiped from everyone's memory banks. I saw it once, and all I remember was Walton Goggins' teeth are still very, very white, and that's what I remember the most from that movie. I don't know. Like, these types of adaptations, it feels like to me, now I could be 110% wrong, it'll get made, it'll be in the news for about a week, and then it will disappear from the news cycle when it's all said and done.
Most of the replies to the Sophie Turner rumor were photos of Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft, absolutely mogging Sophie Turner.
She does. I mean, it's not to say that Sophie Turner isn't a conventionally attractive woman, but you had to be alive in the late 90s, in the early 2000s. Much like I mentioned about Will Smith, you had to have been alive in the 90s to understand just how cool Will Smith was. You kind of had to be alive at that time. As popular as Angelina Jolie still is now, you had to be alive at that time to understand what a star she was. And that first Tomb Raider movie is still worth at least one watch per year.
I saw at least one person say that Sophie Turner is too white to play Lara Croft because she's a Latina woman.
She's not. Lara Croft is British aristocracy, so that's
sure what to
not
make
true
of that.
at all.
But she's basically the hot female version of Indiana Jones, is what I've gathered, and that has some problematic connotations.
Oh, I mean, that's the other look. This was an article from like a month ago. If you remember, Netflix's Tomb Raider addresses the franchise's biggest problems and improves the story. And it gets into talking about settler colonialism and all of the evils of white culture pillaging other cultures. Oh my goodness.
They even implicated the Goonies in this?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest concerns of many treasure hunting movies is the validation of white saviors and settler colonialism.
Look, guys want to see hot chicks, guns, and adventure. if you start talking about this garbage, you will lose your audience so fast.
Well, they didn't really address that when Dial of Destiny came out. That didn't seem like anything anyone was hemming and hawing
about. That movie sucked anyways. It sucked anyway, regardless. Yeah. It didn't matter, right? Like, you will lose your audience so fast if you go down this route. And I'll tell you why they love to do this. The point you just made, Dial of Destiny didn't have it. You know why? Because it's a movie. You have 2 hours, 2.5 hours, if it's too long, to get through your script. They love television series for this exact reasons. The annoying social justice inclined people get to have 12 episodes, 8 episodes. They're like, oh, we could do 8 episodes of adventure, but we're not going to do that. We're going to veer off into some lame, like, white academic guilt that we have to analyze and deduce something from. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see tombs. They want to see hot women, cool looking dudes, and they want to see adventure. They don't want to see the rest of that stuff. This is not rocket science. It is not.
Well, ordinarily, I wouldn't be too worried about them addressing
jiggle
that.
Physics.
But the fact that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in charge of this series says to me it will be addressed in some form or fashion in the script.
Exactly, and it shouldn't. And it shouldn't. I don't care if they did it in the Tomb Raider series on Netflix that was animated. People will have different expectations, and your audience will be different for the animated series is what will be there for the movies. And this doesn't just stop here, guys. It also gets into what is going on with the Fantastic Forecasting right now. They have cast Julia Garner to play Silver Surf Her.
I hadn't heard that one before.
Shalabal, which, look, this is when somebody's going to say, well, it's comic book canon. It doesn't matter. Miles Morales works, okay? You can make it work with Miles Morales, and the Spider-Verse series has been good. Look at how much they are struggling right now to make you care about Sam Wilson as Captain America because everybody loves Sam Wilson as Falcon. If you watch the latest trailer of Captain America Brave New World, they say the name Captain America like 37 times because they want to make like a weird limbic trigger that makes you see his face and think Captain America. It's not going to work. Everybody wanted Sam Wilson in a Falcon movie. Again, not rocket science. It's very frustrating.
Well, I saw some responses posting photos of the comic run in which you see the alternate gender-swapped version of Silver Surfer.
Just do Norrin Radd. How hard is this?
They said, the way Marvel fans are scared of women genuinely baffles me. Like, why would you be mad we're getting this in a live action? Another one said, it is in fact canon to the comic books. Had you actually read them, you would have known that.
Again, they love this. They do not, it has nothing to do with whether it's comic book canon or not. When people think of Captain America, they think of Steve Rogers. When people think of Superman, they think of Clark Kent. They don't think of his sons, okay? It's got nothing to do with any of that. B-list fill-in adaptations of characters struggle against the public's desire to see the original version of that character because that's what everybody knows. Okay? This is nothing to do with race or gender. If they had done a Falcon movie before right after Phase 3, that probably would have been the most successful of all of the Phase 4 movies. More than Eternals, more than Shang-Chi, any of it. They use that as an argument to be like, well, take that, you incel. It doesn't matter if
I'm
you're
the
right.
real nerd.
Using the odd example out of something that was true but not necessarily the most relevant version of the character is not how you ingratiate yourself to the public when you're trying to win their trust back after a very, very, very mediocre Phase 4.
It's definitely stolen valor. I saw one comment point out that Shalabal only has 4 pages over a 2-issue span in 60 years. She's not even a secondary character, but minor in a what if series. And when Stan Lee told Jack Kirby, we haven't had a Silver Surfer story in a while, give us a Silver Surfer story, do you really think Jack said, okay, which Silver Surfer? But it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And in the chat, to address it, somebody says, they did do that. It was called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If they had done a Falcon movie, they wouldn't have gotten into all of the identity politics, because you can't afford to get into all the identity politics in 2.5 hours the way you can in 6 to 8 episodes of a show. You would have been better off making a classic comic book movie with the Falcon character, and people would have loved it. I digress. People are already annoyed that Reed Richards is being played by Pedro Pascal.
Why?
Because nobody likes Pedro Pascal.
Really?
To be fair. I do think that the Eben Moss Backrack casting of Ben Grimm was pretty inspired, though I still imagine somebody bigger than that. We'll have to wait and see. I'll be interested to see what it looks like with the 60s aesthetic with it. But just like with Tomb Raider, they're setting themselves back with casting problems and hiccups that don't need to be there. But this is Hollywood. It's what they do best. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.